Good evening again, all. Welcome. We're still waiting for a few others to come on board. Want to welcome you to Community Board 8's February board meeting. Okay, so we're going to begin. I'm going to ask that Ms. Neal do the roll call, please.
Imani Allison, Glenda Andrews,
Present.
Desmond Atkins, Lisa Atkinson,
Present.
Princess Ben James. Did Miss James just answer? Julia Boyd,
Present.
Gail Branch Muhammad,
Here.
Mary Buchanan, John Buckholz, Robert Callahan,
Here.
Nora Daniel, Aisha Dotson, Diane Duke, Kevin Farley, I lost my place, sorry. Andrea Ferris, Fred Frazier, Drew Gabriel, Tamika Gibbs, Miss Gibbs, Najani Granville, Najani Granville,
Present.
Marva Henry, I'm sorry, Igenie Harris Blinman, Marva Henry, Zerzima Jordan,
Hello.
Francis Langley,
Here.
Sarah Lazar, Ray Lemaine, Elaine Mahoney, Kwazi Mensah,
Present.
Calvis Mickelsteins,
Present.
Alicia Nozenzo, Fior Ortiz Joyner,
Present.
Robert Puka, Yaya Raji, Celine Rosado.
Present.
Thank you. Adam Sachs,
Present.
Brian Saunders, Mark Thurton,
Here.
Greg Todd, Ethel Tyus,
Present.
Gib Vaconi,
Present.
Eves Villas, Kimberly Watson, Irsa Weatherspoon,
Present.
Sharon Wedderburn, Robert Witherwax, Deborah Young, and Vilma Zuniga.
Present.
Okay, currently we do not have a quorum, but I believe Ms. Gibbs is present.
Yes, I am. I don't know why you couldn't hear me, because I can hear you.
Okay, Drew Gabriel, I'll run through just a couple quick more names. I think I saw some people. Nora Daniel, Kevin Farley.
Jeannie Harris, present.
Thank you. Kevin Farley, Andrea Ferris, Drew Gabriel, Miss Jordan, Marva Henry. No, okay.
Marva Henry, present.
Okay. We are still short of
Mr.
Desmond Atkins present. I wasn't going to just jump in. I was going to wait till you finished.
Thank you. We are still short of a quorum by 3 members now.
Morella
you, sir.
Main is present.
Okay.
Okay, 2 members. Any other
Okay.
members? We need 2 more members. Rapuka, Yaya Raji, Brian Saunders, Greg Todd, Kimberly Watson, Sharon Wedderburn. Okay.
Okay. But thank you, Ms. Neal. They will probably join us shortly.
Madam Chair, Ethel
Yes.
Tyus has her hand up.
Yes, I did see it. I just wanted to finish with this part. Thank you. All right, Ms. Neal. Thank you. Ms. Tyus?
I'm taking my hand
question?
down. That's a mistake. I apologize.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we are we've done the roll call. As I said before, a couple of our members, I'm sure, will come in shortly. I just want to, have you had the opportunity to see the January minutes? If you have, and there's no objection, I'd like a motion to accept the minutes.
Madam Chair, there was one correction called in.
Oh, okay,
One correction. In the seniors report.
in the seniors report, okay. So with that correction from the seniors, can we have a motion to accept?
This is Gail. I make a motion to accept the minutes with the correction from the Seniors Committee.
Thank you, Ms. Mohammed. A second? Okay, Calvis, I'm sorry, Nicholstein, thank you. Okay, so we're gonna now have acknowledgements from our elected officials and or their representatives, as well as public comments. So I'd like to begin with Senator Brisport, please. Senator?
Thank you, Chairperson. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm going to be mindful of time and just go through a quick slide deck to share some Albany updates with all of you. If you give me 1 second. Okay, I believe my screen is sharing now. So go to slideshow. Okay, so first things first, just remote meetings for those who remember or just to know, we're allowed to meet virtually for these community board meetings because a provision of open meetings law has been suspended to allow for virtual meetings. In January, we stopped putting an end date on when we would have to stop doing virtual meetings, and we basically tied it to, we gave the power to the governor and said whenever the governor says that the COVID state of emergency is over, that's when it expires, and we would have to resume in-person meetings. So she keeps extending it. The current state of emergency for COVID is slotted to end March 1st. I think she's probably going to extend it, but I just wanted to give everyone a heads up that the current one we're in now is slotted to end in a few weeks. In terms of redistricting, we just voted last week on new lines at the congressional and state levels. For those who have not been on the site yet, newyork.redistrictingandU.org, it's an amazing resource that shares, it's not a government resource, but it's very accurate and basically goes through how the lines are shifting per district. So I can actually zoom in on Community Board 8, and you can see your Congress lines are changing pretty significantly. So some of you may find you're represented by Congressman Jerry Nadler if you're in Prospect Heights once these lines take effect. In the Assembly, you can see the lines shifting for this is Assemblywoman Joanne Simon, Ferris Fawn Forest. This one is an open seat now because Assemblywoman Richardson is Deputy Borough President. Zinnerman and Walker, you can see how the lines are shifting here. So some of you in Prospect Heights may have Assemblymember Bobby Carroll, which I probably think is probably one of the bigger changes. And in state Senate, a lot of you will no longer have me. Essentially, if you are in Crown Heights, you will have Senator Zelnor Myrie. The dividing line is going to be all along Atlantic Avenue for the state Senate. Prospect Heights, you may have me or Senator Myrie. And just for in terms of timelines, because it's kind of confusing, you will vote based on these new lines in June, but your current senator is your current senator through December 31st. So if you're in Crown Heights and I represent you, please keep reaching out to my office through December 31st. I am your senator. The New York State budget, we are in the midst of negotiating New York State's $216 billion budget right now. There are a lot of things flying through. I wanted to pull out a few key dates that I think are helpful for people on this call to know. The budget is due April 1st. On February 17th, all state legislators in the Assembly and Senate have to submit what are known as our budget priority letters. It's a mixture of big ticket items we want to see in the legislature, but it's also a chance for us to advocate for discretionary funding for local nonprofits or groups that are doing good work in our communities. So if you want to submit a request to my office, we are accepting them through Sunday of evening of this week. And if you've never done one before and don't know what I'm talking about or didn't even know you could get state money for your organization, we have this bit.ly here, bit.ly/budget letters. It's a page on our site that explains a little bit more. We have an FAQ for you about the state budget, who can apply, when and how. And again, if you have never done this, don't know what I'm talking about, but are interested, we have a sample letter that you can look at and make a model of. And sorry for the tight turnaround, but yeah, we're accepting through Sunday evening. And that should be it. If you have any questions, brisport@nysenate.gov or updates, bit.ly/SD25-updates. And that is it from me.
We can't hear you, Madam Chair. We can't hear you.
Thank you, Senator Brisport, for that great information. Also, next person up would be the representative for Assembly Member Farah Souffrant Forrest.
Unmute. Start video.
Unmute. We hear you now.
All right, when my video comes on, it'll come on. Good evening, everyone. Sorry, my video doesn't want to work. But I am Farrah Suffrant Forrest, your state assemblywoman, gladly serving the 57th greatest district in Brooklyn. I am super excited to be here tonight because I am great because Senator Brisport did my job. He basically gave you everything on a slide. Geez, so he was super, super prepared. But I do want to echo the budget. One thing I really want to educate everyone on with the budget is that it's truly supposed to be a participatory process. And that means that our elected officials are really taking everything that had been said to us throughout the year, all of the concerns, the costs that have been pulled throughout the year to really make a budget that reflects and reflects our individual district's needs. And so you'll see sometimes elected officials from Brooklyn talking about roads because this is something that is not just BQE, it involves roads upstate New York. So it's they call it the big ugly because it really is a huge undertaking. And it's as being someone this is my second time doing it, it's exciting. So I would like you please to apply for the discretionary funding. If you are a group or whoever wants to get something funded, please fill out this form that I'm about to drop into the link somewhere here. Yeah, I'm gonna figure it out when I get there. But I have my chief of staff here who's gonna help me out. But yes, I'm gonna drop the link in, and you could click it to then submit what you want funded. And yes, that is basic. Oh, also, if you are an organization or a tenant association who wants to distribute masks or COVID tests, please reach out to us too. We're at 55 Hanson Place along with Senator Brisport, and our number is 718-596-0100. Thank you, and have a pleasant evening now.
Thank you, Assembly Member Forrest. Good to see you. Next up is Patula Hanley from Assembly Member Zitterman's office. Ms. Hanley?
Hi, good evening, everyone. Patula Hanley from Assembly Member Zinnemann's office. The Assembly member is actually joining us shortly, so I would really like for you all to hear from her. As soon as she's on, I'll let you know. Oh, sorry.
That's quite all right. Happy Thursday, everyone. How are you?
Good evening. Good evening, Assembly.
Good evening to
Happy
each and
Thursday.
every one of you. It's good to be back in the district as ever, as always. Happy to see so many of you on. I have a brief report for you all this evening, and then I'm jumping on to our Disabilities Coalition's meeting. And I just want to remind people that we do have a group of parents, people who have disabilities, who are living with disabilities themselves. And we are in the process of meeting twice a month right now because we're getting ready for Disability Awareness Month, which is March. And we are planning an inclusion event for the district. But if you know anyone who is living with a disability, whether it be a silent or physical disability, mental disability, or parents of children with disabilities, please consider, and I know it's a lot to ask this group because you guys do so much, but please consider joining this coalition and helping us lift up the voices of those who really do need our support from the state level down to the community level. So Patula can share that information with you all if you so desire to join us. So I don't know what has been reported before me, but I know that I did meet with members of the Crown Heights North Association and those who participated in the Bedside Crown Heights Committee on Fair Redistricting. But at this point, we all know that
We've lost your sound, Assembly Member.
All righty, so this is a copy of our new map, and if you have not seen this, we will email it to you or text it to you this evening. For those of you who have seen the map, You know that some of you, that Bedside Crown Heights remains united. So let's give us all a great round of applause for that. I know that, you know, I just want to call them all out because I see them. Certainly, Irsa Weatherspoon and Fior and Ortiz Joyner, Ethel Titus, Gail Muhammad, Deb Young, and I see Ms. Granville up there as well. All of those of you who participated last year and doing the hard work of negotiating what the map should be and what our line should be for the next 10 years. I just thank you for your service. I just wanted to publicly acknowledge you and know that we're thinking of other ways to acknowledge you for your hard work. Although ultimately the maps that we submitted, that you submitted, were not totally adopted. There's some of it was adopted, and the great news, at least for me, is that we're all together. And what I've pledged to that group is to work very closely with the new assembly person, whoever he or she should be, for the 43rd. And certainly Latrice and I had a conversation this week about how we work together to support Crown Heights, and really ensuring that your voices are heard and you're not kind of getting lost in the sauce between electoral lines, because it's all about community and we want to be here for you. So if you have not seen the map, it is here, it's available. If you have questions about it, you certainly can still reach out. But I think at this point, there's two things we want to do. We want to be in constant contact with each other to talk about the resources in our community, but we also want to talk about 2030, because we knew how hard it was to get people to sign up for the census for 2020, and we really need to start to till the earth and get ready for 2030. And so if you are interested in helping with that work, please again reach out to the office. Patula will make sure that you have that information. We've got a couple of events that are coming up that I'm gonna talk to you about, but I do want you all support on a piece of legislation. Actually, there's a couple of things coming out. I don't have bill numbers for two of them yet, so I don't want to talk about that yet. But the e-bike battery bill, as you know, some of you may know or not know, but we have been having problems with these lithium batteries in with regard to charging. There's been guidance by the FDNY about how to charge them, where to charge them, when to charge them, but that information has not been readily available to everyone. And as such, we've had 173 fires and a number of people who have also lost their life. I believe the fatalities are at 7. And so we want to prevent that by ensuring that people know how to use them. So this piece of legislation would do two things. Number one, it would make sure that retailers have to give guidance to those who are buying e-bikes and e-bike batteries in the 10 most commonly spoken languages in New York City. It would make sure that the font size was so that people would actually read it. I don't know about you, but when you get those little pieces of paper that are all wrapped up in the little packaging, you don't even bother to read it, you just toss it. And this is too important for that to happen. So we want to make sure that the warnings are really visible and people can understand them. And then the second thing is, and this is very important because, you know, we've had and sustained a number of fires throughout New York City and the state as well, to ensure that there's a rider, that people who are renting to people have a rider and give guidance, either prohibiting them from charging the e-bike batteries in the home, or ensuring that there is a place that happens. I was on the joint hearing today for e-vehicles, and we are looking forward to having electric vehicles and having charging stations. And as we build those out, we want to make sure that bikes can charge there, right? So this is not an anti-bike bill. We want people to be able to use those for exercise or for work. We just want them to do it safely, and we do not want people to be displaced or homeless as a result of that. So please support that. We will circulate that around for you as well. And it is Black History Month, so I hope that you all remember to or knew that we were collecting videos for people we're putting together a video love letter to the Black community, because I don't know if you guys have been reading the news, but it is rather depressing out there in terms of the level of hatred and racism that still exists against people of color. So we wanted to do something nice for the community and just kind of send them a nice little newsletter. So I'm going to extend the deadline. If you did not have the opportunity to submit a video, if you could send us a 30 to 45 second video that just says why you enjoy being a person of color, being Black, or why or what you love about Black people, and we will include you in our Valentine's Day letter to the Black community. We have an event coming up this Tuesday, which is on the state of Black mental health. As you know, the theme for Black History Month this year is Black health and wellness, and we want to make sure that people know where to get services, what type of services are available to them, whether it be telehealth services or in person, and just to acknowledge that these are just trying times for all of us, and we need to figure out how to collectively heal each other so that we can continue to do the great work that we do in community. And then finally, at the end of the month, on the 22nd, we'll be doing a piece on opioid access. I mean, the opioid epidemic, but really looking at access to treatment, looking at prevention models, and then of course recovery. So tackling some big heavy issues this year, but the theme is a heavy one and it's an important one. And we hope that you share that information. And I know that traditionally it's thought that people of color don't reach out for health, but I think COVID is taught debunk that, and everybody's kind of reaching out to be in a place of healing and caring, and we consider you a part of that healing community. So I wish everyone a great evening and weekend. And as always, if you need anything, you want to plan anything, you need some resources, don't hesitate to ask. And with that said, I will turn the mic back over to our chairperson and wish you all a great evening.
Thank you very much, Assemblymember Zinnerman. I just want to note that Mark Thurton was also a vital member of our
He's not.
redistricting
Yes, he
team.
was. Mark,
And he is here.
forgive me. Your name wasn't on the screen where I could hear it, but absolutely, he kept us all in line, didn't he?
Yes.
All
yes.
right. Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you so much. Same to you. Okay, next up is our district leader, Edu Hermlin. Welcome.
Good evening, Madam Chair. Good evening, CB8. It's a pleasure to see all of you. Please excuse the beard. It's been a long week and it's been an extremely long day. As an educator who has to deal with middle schoolers all day, I think only Senator Brisport can understand what I deal with every day with middle schoolers. That's why he's smiling, because he simplifies it for me. But I just want to say hello to Senator Brisport, Assemblymember Zinnerman, Assemblymember Farrah Forrest, and all the other elected officials. Look forward to continue to work with you. Keep smiling, Senator Brisport. You know what I go through every day. Well, I just want to say hello to everyone. It's been a very long day. I had to pull over to the side so I don't miss this meeting, but I just want to say hello to everyone. I look forward to working with you. We do plan some events going on. This upcoming Monday on Valentine's Day, we are having our public forum. We have a number of candidates running for the open 43rd Assembly District. So we'll be sending the link over to CB8, and we look forward to having you on there. Please stop by. It's going to be February 14th, 7 p.m. We originally had it for Sunday, but then someone told me no one's going to watch it. I was like, why? Super Bowl Sunday. So not to mess up your Valentine's Day plans, but it's very important that we get a chance to see the candidates who are looking to take over, looking to represent us on the open seat for the 43rd Assembly District. We have a number of fine candidates, and we just want to give the community an opportunity to see them, hear their thoughts, their visions on the community, and then they can make their choice after that. But I just want to say hello. Thank you very much, and I look forward to working with you. Take care.
Thank you so much, District Leader. We have our other district leader here, Savannah Purcell. Ms. Purcell?
Let me unmute. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Sorry,
we
just
can.
muted. Okay, perfect. Let me turn on my camera, start my video. I'm outside. Can you? Okay, there we go. Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Sarana Purcell. I am the female district leader for the 43rd Assembly District. Many of you know me in different capacities and over the years, but I'm here tonight greeting you as district leader. I look forward to working with the community. I want to say congratulations to all the new elected officials who have started this session. We have a lot of work ahead of us, especially with redistricting. In addition to that, we do have a vacancy in the 43rd Assembly District. So we want to make sure that if you are in the district, you participate in the forum. And if you are a member of a county committee, look out for a notice to participate for a vote for a Democratic nominee. That's for the informational portion. I would also like to just give a few updates, just to note that every month to keep in contact with the community. We have a fireside chat. It's the last Sunday of the month. You're able to meet me, greet me, ask me questions. The last one we had guided meditations, because I believe we must first all be mentally sound and well. COVID has put a lot of stress on us. The past few years have been very stressful, and I just believe that we must try to take time just to kind of regroup, especially since there's a lot of burden on us, especially those of us in public service, you guys on the board, work, childcare, anyone who have family members who are currently suffering out there right now. So we just want to make sure that we are providing wellness together. We also have a number of pop-up food distributions throughout the district, and then we look forward to having our Meet the Judges forum. So once again, look out for the email. If you're a county committee member, you receive a notice for upcoming meeting, right? Because that's one of the roles of the county committee member. And also, if you're interested, I know many of you are on the community board. I hope many of you reapply, and just note that there's extension to the 4th. But another way to get involved is also to become a member of, county committee, just to get in the local aspects of being involved in your neighborhood. So I'm going to try to drop my information in the chat, through my email at sarana@bkdistrictleader.com. And I look forward to working with you guys in this new capacity as district leader. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Purcell, and best wishes to you. Okay, so now we're going to go right to our public hearing items. We have the Slack and Sidewalk Cafe review, and our vice chair, Robert Wittlewax, will be handling that.
Yeah,
Mr.
if I didn't
Wittlewax?
close the window with the minutes on it, I would have been ready to go, but I'm opening it back up again.
It's all right.
Press the wrong button. Good evening, everyone. The SLAC Committee, State Liquor Authority Committee, met on Monday, the 7th of February via WebEx. The committee discussed the following liquor license applications. We had 2 renewals. The first was for La Lu at 581 Vanderbilt between Pacific and Dean Streets. La Lu has a full liquor license with a patio/deck and has recorded music. The establishment has been in existence for 2.5 years in CB8. It has 10 tables with 30 seats inside and another 13 seats at a bar. Its hours of operation are from noon to 2 a.m. daily. The outdoor backyard patio has seating with 8 tables and 24 seats, and that operates between noon and 11 p.m. daily. There is additional open street seating space with 5 tables and 10 seats, 2 tables and 4 seats on the sidewalk, 3 tables and 6 seats in the freestanding covered structure. They do participate in the Open Streets program. The other renewal was Cass West Indian, located at 135 Kingston Avenue between Bergen Street and St. Mark's Avenue. They have a beer, wine, and cider license. Their hours of operation are 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. This establishment has existed for over 30 years in CB8. Congratulations. They have a small interior eating space with no outdoor seating and 3 total service employees. Should I do the alteration in the new application as well and just do the whole report?
Unmute yourself.
Just go right through, Rob. Thank you.
Thank you. We had an alteration application, an existing proprietor in our location, Muse 689 Washington Avenue, the corner of Prospect Place, has a full liquor license. No other method of operations changed listed other than they now want to permit recorded music. The alteration involves the addition of space in the amount of an 11-foot-8 by 14-foot-10 space, adding 4 tables with 2 seats each, and a booth and a waiting area seating 4. This establishment has been in existence for 5 years at the location. It has 11 tables with 22 seats. It has an enclosed street seat sidewalk cafe seating for the corner property with seating on both Washington Avenue and Prospect Place that has 6 tables and 24 seats between the spaces. And both interior and exterior spaces close daily before 10:30 p.m. And then finally, we had a new application for The Social at 816 Washington Avenue on the corner of St. John's Place for a wine, beer, and cider license. This is an ice cream parlor that has recorded music, occasional live music, video and arcade games, and is permitted to have a sidewalk cafe. The hours of operation are between noon and 10 p.m. on Sunday, 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. Friday and Saturday. This establishment has 11 tables with 44 seats and currently no outdoor seating. The committee voted unanimously to approve all 4 applications as presented in the hopes that the full board supports its recommendation.
Thank you, Mr. Witherwax. Do we have any questions or comments to these 4 applications? Hearing none, I'm asking for a motion for these 4 applications from the.
Make a motion that the applicants be accepted.
I second that motion, Tanika Gibbs.
Thank you, Mr. Atkins and Ms. Gibbs. Ms. Neal?
Irmani Allison. Linda Andrews.
Yes.
Desmond Atkins.
Yes.
Lisa Atkinson.
Yes.
Princess Ben James. Julia Boyd.
Yes.
Gail Branch Muhammad.
Yes.
Jerry Buchanan. John Buckholz. Robert Callahan.
Yes.
Nora Daniel. Aisha Dodson. Diane Duke.
Yes.
Kevin Farley. Andrea Ferris.
Yes.
Fred Frazier. Drew Gabriel. Tamika Gibbs.
Yes.
Najani Granville.
Yes.
Igenie Harris Blinman.
Yes.
Marva Henry.
Yes.
Zerzima Jordan.
Yes.
Francis Langley.
Yes.
Sarah Lazar.
Yes.
Murray Lemaine.
Yes.
Elaine Mahoney.
Yes.
Quasi Menza.
Abstain.
Calvis Mickelsteins.
Yes.
Elisa Nocenzo. Fior Ortiz Joyner.
Yes.
Robert Puka. Yaya Raji. Celine Rosado.
Yes.
Adam Sachs.
Yes.
Brian Saunders.
Yes.
Mark Thurton.
Yes.
Greg Todd.
Yes.
Ethel Tyus.
Yes.
Gib Vaconi.
Yes.
Eves Villas. Kimberly Watson. Irsa Weatherspoon.
Yes.
Sharon Wedderburn.
Yes.
Robert Witherwax.
Yes.
Deborah Young. And Vilma Zuniga.
Yes.
And I
The
believe we have 3 callers. I think Miss Buchanan is one of them. You need to press *6 to unmute yourself.
Am I unmuted?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, that was a yes for the liquor license.
Thank you, Ms. Buchanan. Is there anyone else whose name was called previously, but maybe you didn't hear or you didn't unmute yourself in time for me to record your vote that would like to record a vote?
Yes.
Who is that, please?
Sorry. Princess.
Thank you, Ms. James. Okay, the motion passes 32 in favor, 1 abstain. 1 abstention, sorry.
Great, thank you, Ms. Neal. I just want to go back to our elected officials. Mr. Hackshaw, so sorry I didn't see you there, representing Councilmember Neely. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Councilmember Mealy is on.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, well, welcome.
Welcome. I'm trying to, you hear me and you can see me?
Clearly. I can't see you, but we hear you clearly. But that could just be me.
And not see her.
Okay.
Okay.
Just want to make sure.
Hi,
But we can hear
everyone.
you
I just
clearly.
want, okay, thank you so much. I just want to let everyone know that I'm back better than ever. And my office is now at 400 Rockaway, between Pickens Avenue and East New York Avenue. To let everyone know, we are doing food and giving away the COVID tests every Wednesday. We're doing food pantry every Wednesday in front of the office. Our constituent services are up and running. We are in the office and we are greeting our constituency base open arms. So I just hope everyone could stop by and just to know that we're here for service to serve our community. And next Wednesday, our borough president is coming to my office and he is participating in the food giveaway and the PPE and the home test, COVID test giveaway. So please stop by. It's from 11 to 2 p.m. And we have parking right next door to our office. So please come by. And I'm looking forward to serving everyone. And thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming by. Okay. So we're now going to have our reports for the following committees. Seniors, Ms. Gail Muhammad.
Yes, hi, good evening, everyone. This is Gail Muhammad, chairperson of the Senior Committee. Our Senior Committee met on February 2nd. We were fortunate to have Councilmember Crystal Hudson address the group and bring greetings. As you know, the council member was a member of CB8 and she was also on the Senior Committee. So she did come by and greet the seniors and told us that she would get information out about her office and her telephone number and when they would have office hours. We also do food distribution. We've got a relationship. We have a relationship with Catholic Charities, who is a part of the 230 Kingston Avenue, the David Chavez building, and we will be giving out food from David Chavez. They have agreed to accept the food. So at least once a month, there will be food distribution. We had a Black History program this month and a Black History program concentrated on Weeksville. Many of our seniors did know about Weeksville and where it was located. We have material that we're going to mail out to them so that once the weather gets better, if they want to take a day trip to go over to see the Hunterfly houses and to learn more about Weeksville, they can. Also with health, our seniors were encouraged to continue to take COVID tests, although they have received their vaccinations and boosters, they still need to take their COVID test. So we did provide them with information about health and hospital sites where they can get COVID tests. Also, during a meeting that we had this weekend with Assembly Member Zinnerman, we told her that many of our seniors have received the kits by mail, but they don't know how to use it. So what we're looking at is how to provide information to them, either by video or in-person demonstrations, so that they can learn how to use the kits. Our next meeting is in March. Again, we do not meet in person. All of our meetings are by telephone. So that's the information for the senior committee. Thank you. Oh, and I'd like
Thank
to
you.
thank all of there are quite a few committee chairs from Community Board 8 that have been attending our meetings and bringing information about their respective committees. So I'd like to thank them for their attendance also.
Thank you, Ms. Mohammed. Okay, Parks with Ms. Glenda Andrews.
Yes. Good evening. I'm Glenda
Good
Andrews,
evening.
the chairperson of the Parks Committee. We met on February the 1st. We would like to let you know that St. John Recreation Center now have the program called Saturday Night Midnight Program. It's available for children and adults between the ages of 14 and 24. And the program will be every Saturday moving forward until until we have further notice, between the hours of 4 o'clock to 12 o'clock p.m. And the program is supposed to help, keep the children off the streets and keep their minds going and doing something positive. They had their first event a couple of weeks ago. It was very successful, so it looked like it's going to continue on for a while. Okay. Earth Day event will be planned for the Broward Park during the weekend of April 22nd to 24th. We will let you know on more about that when we get closer to that date. I'm going to give you the floor to Greg Tarr. He's going to talk about the results for the Parks survey.
Yeah, hi. Many of you, or most of you, should have received a survey about the parks in your community. And we have gotten 11 responses and was now sent out to the larger mailing list of friends of the board. So we'll get more responses. But incredibly enough, the park that was nearest to most of the respondents was the Gore Triangle. And probably the smallest park in New York. The garden nearest to the most respondents was the 1100 Bergen Garden by Nostrin and Bergen. And the playground that most respondents were near was the one at St. Mark's, the model block. I think it's between Kingston and Albany. Thank you for those who responded. And if you're not a member, you may be getting this survey in the mail. And we're asking everyone who completes the survey if they would like to report back to our committee periodically with updates about what's going on in the parks, gardens, and playgrounds in their area. So thank you.
And our next meeting will be March 1st at 6 p.m., 6:15 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you both. Okay, next up is Mark Thurton for Public Safety.
Good evening, it's Mark Thurton. I apologize about my video, but I'm in transit right now driving. We had our last meeting on Monday, January 24th. It was a very good meeting. We had a couple of speakers that spoke. We had Kevin Smith, who was from wrongfully convicted. He spoke about people that's convicted wrongly and spend time in prison and coming out and trying to make a change. So he spoke. It was very informative. We also had Assistant Brooklyn DA Joseph Bianco. He came and it was very good. We had a question and answers. We had about maybe 15 questions that was submitted by the community, and he answered them all. That was very productive. And we also had a representative from the U.S. Homeland Security who spoke about human trafficking. That was very informative. Our next meeting will be on Monday, February the 28th at 6:15 by way of WebEx. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Thurton. Next up will be housing, Najani Granville.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yes.
Okay, we met last night, and one of the things that came up was the fact that people are having problems getting through to the offices that they need to speak with to resolve problems. Part of it is a transition from the old representatives to the new. Part of it is COVID because some offices are still not picking up their phones. So we had the privilege of having Ms. Robinson attend the meeting also. And since she has worked for elected officials, she made us aware of the fact that when you go to your elected officials, if they can reach out to the intergovernmental representatives of the various departments, they can cut through some of the difficulties that you may be having. And those intergovernmental officials, we would have to reach them through your elected officials, because it's not something that the average person can get a phone number for those people. But there is a way for you to get things done without our seniors having to come out in the cold multiple times and waiting for help. And someone who was on the line last night works for Legal Hand on Kingston Avenue. And she found the information to be useful because she did not know that either. She was having the same types of problems. So one of the things the committee has agreed it would be useful to work on is to prepare some sort of a handbook or information to people about how they can do as much as possible to get through. And then to always remind them that it's very important to reach out to your elected officials because they have resources and contacts that you would not have. The other thing that came up was possibly acting on a list of the worst landlords that have been compiled by the Public Advocate's Office. And one of the things people thought might be useful is if the landlords actually receive some sort of communication in the form of a letter from the board, just letting them know that we're concerned because we understand that they may have certain buildings with conditions that are dangerous to their tenants. And we might also reach out to those tenants as well to let them know that we're interested, we've read about the problem, and we'd like to keep up and create some sort of a dialogue to find out whether or not those problems are being addressed, whether they have been improved at all. So those are the things that we talked about last night.
Okay, thank you. And when do you meet again? Your meeting date? Ms. Granville?
Yes. The next
Yes.
meeting.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, the next meeting will be on March 9th at 6:15. So please come out.
Wonderful, thank you. Next up is environmental, sanitation, and transportation. Chair Robert Whittle-Wax.
Good evening, everyone. You've already heard from me once. You've heard from my co-chair, Mr. Mark Thurton. So we had a very great evening, great meeting on January the 25th. First of all, the most important news is that the committee is bursting at the seams. We have 25 members. So we've got an incredibly engaged, active, and populous committee, but there's always room for more. So if you're interested in issues surrounding environment, transportation, or sanitation, come out on the fourth Tuesday of the month. So our next meeting is going to be on the upcoming Tuesday of February 22nd. So at that meeting, we're going to hear the reports from our various subcommittees who have been meeting independently to discuss such wonderful hot button issues as rats, as illegal dumping, as the sanitation protocols, how our garbage gets picked up here locally in the district and all around the city, and the rules of the road, a kind of a catch-all subcommittee that's really focused on quality of life and safety issues and possible opportunities in our district for hotspots where public rail improvements could be highlighted, advocated for. Specifically, the subcommittee is very interested in working on a forum surrounding Atlantic Avenue, our northern border, which sometimes seems impenetrable. Furthermore, we're also dealing with maybe trying to get some more subway entrances more ADA compliant and getting the dearly departed B71 bus to return. And we're also very interested right now in the Stop the Chop movement, which is the Twitter movement afoot to try to limit and cap helicopter traffic, certainly over our district. We're on the beeline between JFK Airport and Manhattan, so helicopters, helicopters, helicopters. We'd like that to stop or at least abate significantly. So if any of those issues interest you, join us on Tuesday the 22nd, and we will welcome you. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Next up, Economic Development, Brian Saunders.
Well, good evening, everyone.
I'm sorry, I have a question for Mr. Witherwax. On the
Sure, Ms. Tyus.
Yeah, if I could just get the subcommittee meeting dates between now and the 22nd.
We don't have those.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Saunders. You're welcome, Mr. Saunders.
I also
have my hand up for Mr. Witherwax. Hello, I just zoomed in at the end. Ms. Collins.
Hi, Ms.
Janet's
Collins. Sure.
name, sorry. Here's, I see Janet's name up.
That's okay. That's all right. Go ahead, Mr. Collins.
Hi, Mr. Witherwax, what has been done so far with the helicopters? I know I've complained about it. What has the committee done so far?
We're going to be reviewing a letter that's going to be circulated with the minutes that are probably going to get out the door tomorrow, and hopefully vote on that letter at the next February meeting.
Okay, have you done any research yet on what we've done in the past? I know you spoke about researching what the community board has done in the past about the helicopters. Did you have any success with that?
We have all the back minutes from the environmental committee.
Good. Will that be shared at our next meeting?
Sure.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry for the interruption, Mr. Saunders. Please go on. Thank you, Ms. Collins.
So good evening, everyone. Economic Development met on February 8th via WebEx at 6:15, where we had the following discussions. We talked about a new grant that's out from New York State. It's actually called the New York State Small Business Recovery Program, and it's a grant that doesn't have to be paid back. We had a discussion about that. It's $800 million, which $400 million is currently left over, and how it's available for small businesses in the area that could be used for leases, utility bills, payroll. Is not a PPE. This is something that doesn't have to be paid back. So the deadline is April or May of 2022. So if anyone knows anyone, I can put that link. It's the nys smallbusinessrecovery.com. Look for the New York State logo on it. And also we had a presentation by the Clean Slate New York campaign. This is a campaign that's they're looking to help out the people in the community who has criminal records, and they're looking to kind of have their records expunged and erased, and for reasons of employment or any things as financial gains. This is a new thing that they're doing. They're working with the DA's office as well, and it's so just automatically clear New Yorkers' conviction records once they become eligible. There's a different bunch of eligibilities, not just anyone, not just sex offenders, but anyone who's done like minor crimes, who wants to move forward and have apply for a license or any certificates and they can't get it. This is a way to help. And also they having an event February 27th at Brooklyn Commons. So I'll drop that link in the chat as well. And our next meeting is actually March 8th as well. And I look forward to seeing everyone there as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is land use, Sharon Wedderburn.
Oh, I'm trying to unmute myself, and here I am unmuted. I apologize for my camera being off while I'm in transit. The committee met on February 1st. We didn't have any action items before us, but we were simply talking about the work that is before us. And my understanding is that when the committee next meets on March 3rd, we have a couple of items that are coming through. And I look forward to everyone engaging thoroughly with the applications that will be coming before us.
Okay, thank you. Education and Youth, Nora Daniels.
Good evening, everyone. We had our meeting this month on February 1st, and we basically went over the details on our Black History Month contest, the Black History Month art contest. It's a virtual art contest. We're asking our participants to submit their items via email. We have shared the flyer with the board, and we'll share it again with more information on how folks can submit. So that's live now, and we're looking forward to getting all the submissions. We'll be judging the contest on our next meeting, which will not be an official meeting. It'll be a closed meeting just to do the judging, and we'll announce the winners at the next.
Okay, thank you very much. Next up is Health with Tamika Gibbs.
Good evening, everyone. Excuse me. The Health Committee last meeting was on Thursday, January 20th. We had one guest visitor from Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. She wanted to come in and possibly set up a date for a future presentation, but that's to be scheduled. But our main presenter was Dr. Michael Braun from New York City Health and Hospitals from Kings County. He's infectious disease physician for over 30 years. He gave us the entire timeline of COVID and what's to be expected. Very informative information he distributed to us. He reminded us of his career at Kings County, because his entire career was at Kings County, of how he started in infectious disease with the AIDS epidemic, and now he said he hoped to be ending it at the COVID pandemic. So very informative information. Thank you for everyone who came out to the meeting. Our next meeting is on next Thursday, February 17th at 6:15. We have our rescheduled fire department safety unit. Training will be there on Thursday, 6:15 on February 17th. We invite all to come out and get all the wealth of information, and let's keep everyone safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gibbs. Next up is Veterans with Najani Granville.
At the veterans meeting, I believe I had sent out some information concerning Social Security and the Veterans Administration. And for those of you who may be around that age, I know I'm getting that to be that age, you can sign up with Social Security for updates and they will send them out to you by email. And one of the things that we ended up talking about also were the victims in the fire in the Bronx. And we had a short discussion about that, and some of my members let me know something that I was not aware of. A lot of those apartments were very large because in this city, for the most part, the largest apartments now exist in the Bronx. The larger ones in Brooklyn have been cut up one way or the other. So that just happened to come up in the conversation. We are hoping to be able to get someone in the future to come out to us from Veterans Affairs to address certain issues. And I also had the privilege of attending one of the meetings with Community Board 3's Veteran Services Committee, and they're working on the planning of the next Veterans Appreciation Parade, which will take place on the Saturday before Veterans Day in November. So that pretty much does my report for the veterans at this time.
Thank you so much. And I just want to remind you that SLAC meets the first Monday of every month. So our next meeting will be March 7th. Okay, I want to circle back because we have some of our agency reps here. Damaris Falero from Buildings and Karen Chambers from the DA's office. Ms. Falero? I did see her just pop in. Ms. Falero, are you there? Can you hear us? Ms. Valera, can you unmute yourself?
Hello?
Hello.
I'm so sorry. I've been having some issues with my phone connecting to the meeting.
That's okay. We hear you clearly now. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. No really big updates for me, but I just wanted to pop in and say hello. And if there's any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. I don't see a chat enabled, but I can give
You can
you.
put something in the Q&A. You can
Okay,
use
can I
that.
leave my contact
Yes,
information there?
absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
will do. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, is Ms. Chambers still here? Are you still with us?
Yes, can you
Great,
hear me?
welcome. Yes.
Thank you. I just want to bring greetings from the District Attorney's Office. And we are having our Black History Month on February the 22nd. The flyer isn't ready as yet, but as soon as we have the flyer, I'll send it out, and it's going to be virtual. Please join us. If you have any issues or concerns, I'm having problems with my computer and also my phone. So I'll give you my phone number. It is 718-250-4877. And if any of the committees would like anybody from my office to come out to have a discussion with the group, we'd be happy to do so. So please give me a call and reach out if you're having any issues. Thank you so much. And thank you, Michelle and Julia, for your help.
Thank you, Ms. Valera and Ms. Chambers, for stopping by. Okay, so we are now at our old business portion of our meeting. Do we have anything, old business, new business to comment at this time?
Questions as well? It's time for questions.
If you have a question, yeah, sure.
Yes.
Questions, comments.
Okay.
Hold on a second. I ask everyone after you who has a question or a comment to please raise your hand so you can be acknowledged. Go ahead, Mr. Mensah.
I'm sorry
Thank
about
you.
that. Is
No
Senator
problem.
Brisport still there? Is he still present, Senator Brisport? I guess he left.
Yeah, I don't
Was
see him on board.
Well, I'm going to just put it out there anyhow. My question was a follow-up to an issue I raised the last meeting regarding any type of information being sent to the community about some basics with fire safety, which would include something simple as when you leave the apartment, you leave the place during a fire, try to remember to close the door. And I think it's very, very simple. Doesn't cost much, and it can save lives. I want to just put it out there. And, talk to your elected officials about that as well. It's very simple. Not a guarantee because things happen when you panic. But it's better to be informed and be aware than not be aware. And unfortunately, I'm saying that it's not really being taken as seriously as it should be, in my opinion. But that's how it feels. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mensah. Anyone else?
Can I just respond to that?
Oh, this is Ms. Henry. Please do. Yes.
Yes, I'm trying to send my video. I wanted to show you guys what I have. Am I on video? I can't see
Yes.
from my.
Yes, you
Okay,
are.
so I got in the mail New York City Apartment Building Emergency Preparedness Guide. And this was developed by the New York City Fire Department to inform apartment building residents and staff about apartment building safety and what each resident can do to prepare for emergencies, prevent fires, and protect themselves and their families during a fire or non-fire emergency. It's dated 2021, but I think I got it in January 2022. But they sent it out, so
great.
It was probably in response to the fire. So some, at least apartment
Well,
building.
again, I was requesting a PSA, a video PSA on television. I mean, what you say is great. I'm not putting it at all, but I'm saying my specific request was a PSA, right? That on radio, television, just to keep the awareness going. Because and as I explained to when I was at the staging center at Monroe College a few weeks back, I explained to an elected official that remember one thing: more than likely, you'll live when you get out the apartment, but others going to die or behind you. I don't think they can make any plainer than that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Miss Hanley?
Andrea Ferris has her hand up, Madam Chair.
Okay.
Hi, good
After Miss
evening.
Hanley, then Miss Ferris. Thank you.
Hi, it's Patula Hanley from Office of Assembly Members Zimmerman. Just in response to Mr. Mensah's request, the Assembly member did have a fire safety Zoom last Friday evening. There was another one sponsored by Bridge Street last Saturday. I was on the third one when I joined the PSA 3 meeting last night. So the fire department, in conjunction with community-based organizations and elected officials, are definitely intentional about spreading the word. And if CB8 would like to host one as well, we can help to facilitate that, but definitely we are doing our best to host as many fire safety workshops and initiatives as possible.
That's good. Associate to a PSA. He says right there. You don't have to attend, link, folks watch television. PSA.
Okay, thank you. Miss Ferris?
Yes, I know that they I don't know who's going around, but plumbers or NYCHA, someone, I know they're going around and knocking on doors and pasting a notice on everyone's door on the inside, and it explains fire safety. You know, close your doors, close your windows. If there's a fire, it's a list. And when they knocked on my door, the guy just came in, put it on the door, on the door, and said that, read it thoroughly, let your family know, read it to them, and make them aware of this. And he was knocking on all the other doors. So I don't know if it's just NYCHA or whatever, but I know that they've been going around putting these stickers on everyone's doors.
Great, thank you. Ms. Gibbs, are you having some sort of presentation next month or next week?
Yes, I am, Madam Chair. On next Thursday, the fire department will be doing their safety presentation to the Health and Human Services Committee. I was telling the person, we've had several committees on CB8 where the FDNY has done safety committee prior to the tragic fire in the Bronx. So please come out. Anybody have any concerns? This is for residentials, buildings, private homeowners, a wealth of information. I invite everyone to come out. The information will be on the CB8 website with the link via WebEx. Please bring you, your neighbor, and everybody else, because it's very informative.
Okay, thank you so much. Lisa Atkinson?
Thank you. This is for, I think it was Ms. Hanley, who's Assembly Member Zinnemann's representative. Can you please share the information on the Disabilities Coalition that she talked about? I am the ADA coordinator for my agency, so I'd be interested in that. So I would definitely like to know more information about that.
Definitely, the Disabilities Coalition is happening as we speak. I can share the Zoom link and the Q&A if you would like to join with that.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Great. Ms. Mohammed?
Yes, I have a question to find out if anyone has any updated information on what happened to City Council today relative to open restaurants.
This is Ethel Tyus. The last I heard from City Council is that they made it permanent. Open restaurants, open streets, they made it permanent.
I'm asking for open restaurants only, not open streets.
Right. Open restaurants, they made it permanent. It should be on the City Council's website. New legislation.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
believe, Ms. I just want to say, I
Yes,
read that they're actually going to change the structure of those outside seating areas. They're not going to be allowed to be as like big and bulky as they are. So that's something that they was talking about changing. I don't know if they officially said they're going to do it or not.
Thank you.
Respond to that. I saw
Thank you. I'm sorry, who's responding?
I'm sorry, Greg Todd.
Oh,
Madam
hi,
Chair.
go ahead, please.
Yeah, I just read in the media that they're going to basically be taking down those big wooden structures and be having just umbrellas and tables, presumably coming back at night off the streets so they can be swept by sanitation.
Great. Thank you. Also, Mr. Marable, you had your hand up?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. This is Jonathan from Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce. As you probably know, businesses are still hurting. Just wanted to offer a resource that is available for any small business owners that you know of that still need help. I'll type it in the, I guess, Q&A, just a website they can go to sign up to receive assistance directly from us, or, you know, to figure out ways that you can get help from resources that are around. Thanks.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Question or comment?
Irsa, this is Gail
Yes.
Muhammad again. Is there anyone on from the 920 Park Place group?
This is Ethel Tyus. If no one else is responding, I'd like to give an update on that. Do you have particular questions?
No, just give us your update, Ms.
Thank
Tyus,
you.
what you have. Yes.
Okay, there are a number of traffic parking violations that are occurring. The proponent, the construction company, is using DOT no parking signs to reserve parking spaces on the roadway for their staff rather than using the open space on the property. And it's causing a great inconvenience to the local residents. And they seem to be very lax in safeguarding the existing street trees. So there is substantial concern that the existing trees will be damaged or removed. And the drawings that we have don't show any replacements. And the neighbors are still pursuing bringing legal action, either in Article 78 or an action in federal court for disparate treatment by LPC.
Thank you. I just want to make a note that regarding the construction on that site, Hebron site, Mr. Lance Franklin at Triton Construction Company is a contact person, and he can be reached at 212-388-5700. Just to let you know that the district manager has reached out to Mr. Franklin to schedule a meeting to discuss the concerns of the neighborhood. So we are working from that end as well.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Will the local neighbors be allowed to attend that meeting?
I would say yes, because they're definitely, this is affecting them. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Sure. Anyone else?
Yes, Madam Chair, could I speak on smart meters?
Sure. Who is speaking?
Okay, I'm Arnold Gore, and
Okay.
I'm a resident of Prospect Heights, and I'm working with New Yorkers for Wired Tech. I am upset about the proliferation of smart meter installations, in particular in our neighborhoods. The so-called smart meters rely on wireless technology, which exposes people to continuous pulsed wave electromagnetic fields of erratic intensity. Numerous medical and scientific studies have clearly shown serious health effects, from brain cancers to neurological effects and decreases in fertility. See the ehtrust.org. cehtrust.org/science for documentation of some of these studies. There are quite a few of them. And there is an opt-out provision in current law for smart meter installation, but the utilities may charge the customer a monthly fee. Senator Kevin Parker of the Senate Energy and Telecommunications Committee is interested in trying to increase the regulation of these smart meters, to have a default opt-out and requiring opt-in rather than opt-out, because many people just ignore the first notice from Con Edison, and then it's too late by the time they find out that a meter is already installed. The very high intensity of the pulsed wave fields from smart meters is demonstrated in the video on the website of New Yorkers for Wired Tech. If you slash media and page down, there is a series of readings of a smart meter installations that was done in the area of Sunset Park, Brooklyn, a neighboring community. And it shows that very frequently the meter reading goes off the charts. The original meter company wanted to say that it is safe to have 10 microwatts of electricity going out. The meter records it in the thousands. It goes up to the thousands and 10,000s. And many people are getting very ill as a result of these. So we are requesting that that smart meters be stopped. And in addition, there are alternatives to smart meters and wireless technology in general, because wireless technology is really an inferior technology. It is convenient, but it is a little bit slower. Believe it or not, it is slower, it is less reliable, it can be hacked, and it has very serious health effects. Wired technology has been instituted in many places. There's an excellent place installed in Chattanooga, Tennessee, where they have the fastest and cheapest wireless technology, and then wired technology that was taken over by the community, and it's a public service. Only there's a great deal of resistance to allowing public entities to sponsor these facilities. But the wireless technology is really an inferior technology, and the telecommunications companies were once given a surcharge on your telephone bill to install wire to the premises. They said it was easier to finish it up with wireless, and that's what they did. Only they were supposed to install wireless to the premises, and that would eliminate a lot of the problems that we are having with wireless technology. And
Okay.
the lack of regulation has been brought up to the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals, and they decided that the Federal Communications Commission has been lax in not responding to the numerous number of studies that have been sent to them. And they have to revise their guidelines, which were made up 25 years ago, and they haven't updated it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Gore, for your presence and that information.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. So
There's
if
a
there's
hand
nothing.
up, Madam Chair.
Oh, yes. Who do we have? Who do we have up? Miss Muhammad?
Yes, there's a hand up from Desmond Atkins, and I'm not sure if Janet Collins is left from before or she just raised her
No, that's a new hand, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Atkins first, and then Miss Collins. Thank you.
There's also Andrea Ferris. Andrea Ferris.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Atkins.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to know from Mr. Gore. I found what he said very informative, but I'd like to know what is the spectrum that these are going out on, and this sounds very familiar to the same fight that was fought with 5G. There's a representative here on the board who works for one of the major telecommunications companies, And when I brought that up to him at the time, I'm sorry, I identified gender, basically said that this was being steamrolled and was going to happen no matter what. The same complaints were made about 5G. I'm not saying that what you're saying isn't exactly true, and the fact that big business is allowed to irradiate us everywhere. You can't travel and not be told at the airport that you cannot, that you don't, that you can refuse an X-ray. And I find all these things intrusive, but there really isn't enough public will to stop it. I agree with what you're saying, but I would like to know what is the spectrum that this is that the pulse from the smart meters is in, and I will definitely take a look at that video.
I will put a link in the Q&A for looking up the video where one of our members took smart meter readings, and it shows that it goes off the charts. The FCC has been directed to update their standards, only they haven't done it. That decision was back in August, brought by Environmental Health Trust and Children's Health Defense against the Federal Communications Commission. And this wireless technology can be avoided. It's much simpler and safer and secure to use wired technology. Only it's a little bit more expensive, and every time there's a storm, it doesn't have to be replaced. You don't have to send that people out in order to put the wires back up.
All agreed, but I find that this is a massive steamroller. It's 5G, it was 4G. Everybody basically ceded to it. And we're being told that this is to make our lives better. And I've heard this before. That was the same thing they said about the thalidomide. But most people here are not old enough to remember those kind of things.
Right. If our legislators are contacted, they will be able to do something about this. Only Senator Parker was saying that he has very few senators willing to co-sponsor the bill that he's introduced, and it's been and regulation has been lying around for a few years. So that's why I'm making this presentation, and we're trying to speak to other legislators about signing on to bills to help regulate these wireless technologies.
Thank you. Ms. Collins?
Yes, thank you. Mr. Gore, can you, I don't know if I missed it or not, you mentioned it, but these smart meters that you're referring to, is that also the ones that the electric company Con Ed wants to put into your house?
Yes, that is. I was able to opt out only because I caught the letter early. Only some other people have ignored it, and that was to their regret. I will put the link to where that smart meter demonstration is. The website is New Yorkers for numeral 4 wiredtech.com/media. If you go to New Yorkers for Wired Tech, and there's a tab on the top for media. Click on media, and if you scroll down on the page, there is a video of someone taking readings in Sunset Park, where it shows the meter going off the scales, which it's possibly up to over 100,000 microwatts. Only they say the limit should be 10. Only it goes over that very quickly.
Yes, the rest of my question is, I don't know if you have the answer. I did call them and told them I did not want it. And they said, well, those people who opt out for that will have to pay an extra $19 a month.
Yes, they
And
said that was so, and
yes,
it was suspended for part of the early pandemic, but I think
right.
it's been reinstituted now. But I haven't noticed that I see it on my bill.
Also, I'd like to ask you, um, since these smart meters are giving off all these impulses, if I don't have one in my house and my neighbors do I get affected by that?
Unfortunately, you probably will. It is in the air, and if you're in an apartment building, if some people do have smart meters, that
Well, not in
uh,
an apartment building, but in a private home.
oh, in a private home, if each person has has either an analog meter or a smart meter, if they have the smart meter, then you probably would be affected by the radiation coming out of it.
Coming through the wall. Okay.
It depends upon how many people live in that private house. They may have separate meters for the different units in it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I will put the link in the chat for that smart meter video.
We don't have a chat.
Well,
You can put in
it's
the
in
Q&A.
the Q&A.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know if people realize, but when you put things in the Q&A, it's not possible to click on a link or to copy text out of the Q&A. You would have to type it separately somewhere else just by looking at it, but you can't click, copy, paste, or anything like that.
We will make sure for those of you who do not receive this information that the office will send it out. Thank you. Okay, I didn't see any more hands. Ms. Ferris, I think, lowered her hand.
Right,
I didn't see
it was
anyone.
from before, sorry.
That's okay, that happens. Okay, so if we don't have any more questions or comments, we will be concluding our meeting. I thank you all for coming and enjoy the balance of your evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.